सिन्धुवैव च पतितानां पावनभ्य वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So Hare Krishna, thank you again very much. Before we start, we will show you one beautiful verses, very nice verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. So how is important this session is, it is stated in these beautiful verses. I share it in the screen that it's a very wonderful verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. He said that how important the discussions is. In this verse, it is said that whenever the pure topics of the transcendental world are discussed, the members of the audience forget all kind of material hankerings, at least for the time being. Not only that, but they are no longer envious of one another, nor do they suffer from anxiety or fear. So how important the discussion of the topics. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada always recommended the devotees should get together and associate, and they discuss about the Krishna Katha, the transcendental topics. That is the most pleasing to the Supreme Lord. In these verses also, 11th canto, Paraspara Anukathanam Pavanam Bhagavat Jasa. So here it is stated, one should learn how to associate with devotee of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. Nowadays, gathering can be physical because of digital presence. We can take the leverage of the digital presence, Zoom and all the things, Zoom, Facebook, and all other social media platform. And this process is most purifying process, because when you discuss about the transcendental topics among devotee, it is most purifying. Like we are churning the ocean and understanding in different angle of vision. As a devotee, they develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness, satisfaction, and by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up the sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. So that's why this kind of session with devotees is very beneficial. Not only that, it is said that further smarantas marantya cha mitho ago haram hari bhakta sanjayate bhaktya vivarti upulakam tanum. This is a beautiful, very wonderful verses. The devotee of the Lord constantly discuss the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead among themselves. Thus they constantly remember the Lord and remind one another of his quality pastime. In this way, by their devotion to principle of Bhakti Yoga, the devotee please the personality of Godhead, who takes away from them everything inauspicious. So that is whole idea. Our whole ultimate goal of life is to please Krishna. Therefore, this kind of things is very important. This kind of, I mean to say, session, this kind of discussion, discourse, istagosti is very beneficial for the devotees. Very paramount important. And it is pleasing to the Lord. It's not that we are having this session for fun or for anything, any purpose. No, it is pleasing to the Lord. That is the primary purpose. Therefore, it is said that when there is a congregation devotee, the discussion, question, answer become conclusive to the both speaker and audience. Thus, such a meeting is beneficial for everyone's real happiness. So this kind of session is very important, because we are now hearing this nectar of devotions, which primarily focus on how to attain the Krishna Bhakti. Is a transcendental topics matter. So therefore, these sessions are very important for us to advance in Krishna consciousness and pleasing the Lord. So on these notes, we will start our classes. So we will go through these slides and a little bit of recapping of previous sessions. So we have been completed so far this is the sixth section of Nectar of Devotion. In last 5 sessions, we have completed almost most of the things. So we can go through what are they completed. So here we have completed the this is actually the this is entire books of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami. But Prabhupada, the Nectar of Devotion, only include the Eastern division. So as I told you, there are 4 divisions of the books, and in Eastern division, this comprises the Nectar of Devotion by Srila Prabhupada. So in Eastern division, we are talking now, discussing. So in that, we have completed the Samanya Bhakti. Samanya Bhakti, already I told you that it is an overview of devotional service. In Samanya Bhakti, first chapter, so we have learned the definition of pure Bhakti, 3 beautiful verses quoted by Rupa Goswami. Then characteristic of Bhakti, 6 characteristic of Bhakti. So I'm not going through again and again. So, and then we move to the Sadhana Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti is starting from the 2nd chapter to 16th chapter. This is Sadhana Bhakti. So we are now in Sadhana Bhakti. In Sadhana Bhakti, we have learned a lot of things, definition of Sadhana Bhakti, and different types of Sadhana Bhakti. What are the different types of Sadhana Bhakti? And eligibility of Sadhana Bhakti, how Bhakti surpasses the Mukti. And in this way, we have come to the point of 64 limbs of Bhakti. So this is also the part of Sadhana Bhakti, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. So here, I just give you a glimpse of things, because if we go through again, recap for the, long time, we cannot proceed with others. New things. Therefore, we have gone through this Uttama Bhakti divide. Bhakti is divided into Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti is 2 types, Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti is about rules, following the rules and regulations of the scriptures, and also instruction of spiritual master. So that is called Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Raganuga is very spontaneous, full of attachment. In Vaidhi Bhakti, there is no attachment. It is just following the rules and regulation. It's an obligation, not it is a voluntary out of love, out of attachment. In Vaidhi Bhakti, we have already described the adhikari who are eligible. Everybody is eligible for performing or executing Vaidhi Bhakti. And who is Sukritana? Then we have seen that many devotees, like 4 kinds of Sukritana, they surrendered to Krishna. They also the part of this eligibility. They are also eligible to perform Vaidhi Bhakti. And Bhakti is independent, because as we discussed in last session, that Bhakti is not dependent on our birth, purity, Varnashram. No, Bhakti is very independent. Ahituki apratihata. There is no cause. It is very free from any kind of checks, any kind of impediments. It is very independent. It's not dependent. So anybody can perform Bhakti. So then finally, 64 limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti. This 64 limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti is the expansion of Navada Bhakti. So that is very important to learn. And these 64 limbs of Bhakti, as I described last classes, that these 64 items of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti is very important. Why? Because we will execute our devotional service using our speech, our mind, our body, following these 64 items. Therefore, these 64 items is very important. I will show you what Prabhupada has said about the 64 items. So anyway, in this 64 item, 20 items are primary important. They are called positive injunction. They are called do's and do nots, positive and negative injunction, do and do nots. And other 44 additional items is also there, total 64. Out of 20, first 10 is pravritti, means positive injunction, do, and 11 to 20 is negative. So we will talk about today that all these items with very in details, because last session I have gone through, I have walked through all these 64 limbs, but we have to understand very carefully what Jiva Goswami, what Prabhupada has said about each of the bhakti, each of the limbs of the bhakti. So before we start, we can see the beautiful quotes from the Prabhupada. So we will So there's a very nice quotes from the Prabhupada. Prabhupada say that, see, in all there are 64 items listed for rendering service unto Krishna. These are regulative principle enjoined in Shastra given by spiritual master. One has to serve Krishna according to these regulative principle. But if one develop the spontaneous love for Krishna as exhibited in the activities of those who live in Brajabhumi, one attend the platform of Raganuga Bhakti. One who has developed the spontaneous love is eligible for elevation to enjoyed by inhabitant of Brahman. Here, Prabhupada says that one must follow the 64 limbs of bhakti if one is practicing sadhana bhakti, by the sadhana bhakti. One has not developed the spontaneous love, he has to follow these 64 limbs. And in Hari Bhakti Vilas, Rupa Goswami say that although there are lack of limbs, actually this 64 limbs is borrowed by Rupa Goswami from Sanatan Goswami. He has said that because Sanatan Goswami has written a book called Hari Bhakti Vilas, there are so many injunctions, regulative principle has been given. Lakhs of, many of them. So from there, the most prominent 64 limbs taken by Rupa Goswami, and he has put in this beautiful books, Nectar of Devotion. 64 very prominent one. So here he say that in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, lakhs of limbs of bhakti are described. However, here I describe only the popular ones according to my intelligence. That is spoken by Rupa Goswami. So only the 64 prominent has been taken from the Hari Bhakti Vilas. And through Shastra, Vedic scripture, it is hard that all human have eligibility for executing Uttama. Without following the 64 limbs, without following the Shastric injunction, we cannot execute the pure devotional service. No, because pure devotional service should be executed in reference with Shastra. In another verses also Prabhupada quoted, he told that from Narada Pancharitrika, Shruti Smriti Pancharatrika Vidivina Aikunthika Harer Bhakti Utpaideva Kalpate. If we do not follow this Shastric injunction, how to execute devotional service, then it is a disturbance. It is a very much impediment for our progress in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Rupa Goswami has said that one should, through Shastra only, one can eligible for executing Uttama Bhakti. So last session, we have gone through all the things, all these 64 limbs, but today we will go in details. Out of 64, there is the last 5 limbs which has been repeated twice. Is very, very important. And Rupa Goswami say, I have repeated this to show you that it is most important 5. That we will talk later when we go through this. So now we can go through all the 64 limbs. So first items is there. These first 10 items are preliminary necessity for beginning discharge of devotional service in regulative principle. In the beginning, if a neophyte devotee observe the above mentioned 10 principles, surely he will quickly make good advance in Krishna consciousness. That is the statement by Srila Prabhupada. The first 10 is very, very important. They are called positive injunction. So we will learn very details what are the first 10 we can execute so that we can advance in Krishna consciousness. First one, accepting the shelter of the lotus feet of bona fide spiritual master. So here Rupa Goswami say that Guru Padasraya, Tasmat Krishna Dikhyadi Sikkhanam, Visrambena Guru Seva Sadhu Vartanu Vartanam. So Rupa Goswami says the first thing is accepting a shelter of the feet of Guru. So what is this accepting the shelter of the Guru? So here spiritual life begins with a spiritual master. Without taking shelter of spiritual master, one cannot proceed. Of course, there is so many verses is there. So Rupa Goswami, it is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam that one cannot get out from this material entanglement by ourselves. Why? Because we have been bound so many in time memorial. We do not know how to get out. We need somebody who is free, who is liberated. He can make us to untie our knot, material bondage. So therefore, there's a beautiful verse that I'll show you. This in this Srimad Bhagavatam, very nice verses. Today also morning I had a class, I quoted these verses. So here it is say that 11:22:10. So it is say that anadi avidya yuktasya. That means because a person who has been covered by ignorance since time immemorial is not capable of effecting his own self-realization. There must be some other personality who is in factual knowledge of absolute truth can impart this knowledge to him. So only a person who is enlightened, who is educated, who is devotee pure, they can only make us get out from this material entanglement. They can save us from this predicament. And who is that person? That is, of course, Bhagavad Gita also stated Tadvidi Pranipatena Prepesana. Krishna also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also say that in these beautiful verses, who is this person? That person is a sadhu shastra guru. Particularly, guru is important. Here it is said that sadhu shastra kurpaya jadi Krishna mukha hoye, sei jiva nistara maya tahara chadiya. If the conditioned soul become Krishna consciousness by the mercy of saintly person who voluntarily preach the scriptural injunction, help him to become Krishna consciousness. The conditioned soul is liberated from the clutches of Maya, who gives him help. Therefore, Rupa Goswami has stated, Rupa Goswami has first injunction he has given. What is the first injunction? First injunction he has given, sorry. The first injunction he has given, Guru Asraya, that you have to take shelter of the Guru. So in this regard, that what is the qualification of Guru? Nowadays, you see, India is a breeding place of Gurus. There's so many, if you go to Kumbh Mela, you can see a lot. But how to identify who is a real Guru? First of all, who approaches a Guru? Not any Tom, Dick and Harry approaches. Unless one is curious to know the highest good, he want to get out. He want to address the awkward position of the life. Why I am here? Why I am threatened by this temporary atmosphere? Temporary existence, material existence is temporary. Therefore, Prabhupada in introduction to Bhagavad Gita said that Bhagavad Gita is meant for the person who wanted to solve the awkward position of life. What is the awkward position of life? We are existing in a non-existential atmosphere. Our so-called existence is threatened by birth, death, disease, old age. So that person who wants to get out from this awkward position, precarious position, predicament, that person will approach a Guru. Not that everybody do not approach Guru. Somebody wants to solve the problem of life, he approaches. And second thing is, what is the qualification of Guru? Qualification of Guru is he should be fully conversant, Sabda Brahman, Parabrahman, fully satiated, renounced, no more desire. Therefore, Rupa Goswami quoted this verse 11:3-21. So we will go to this very nice Prabhupada thing. Prabhupada said that accepting the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Prabhupada added this line bona fide, not anybody. If you do not accept the bona fide, if you accept somebody who is charlatan or impostor guru, who is posing as a guru, but he is not actually guru. Therefore, Rupa Goswami quoted this verse from 11:3-21. Prabhupada tells to Maharaj Nimi, my dear king, please know that in the material world there is no happiness. It is simply mystic to think that there is happiness here, because the place is full of nothing but miserable condition. Any person who is seriously desirous to achieve real happiness must seek out a bona fide spiritual master, take shelter of him by initiation. And what is the qualification of spiritual master? He must have realized the conclusion of scripture by deliberation and arguments, thus able to convince others this conclusion. That means one is very expert in Shastra. Such great personality who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material consideration, are to be understood as a bona fide spiritual master. Everyone should try to find out such a bona fide spiritual master in order to fulfill the mission of life, which is to transfer himself to plane of spiritual bliss. So whole idea, very nicely Prabhupada has written. That first thing that one should know that there is no happiness in this material world. This is all illusory, Maya Sukha. And if somebody want to seriously achieve real happiness, then one should seek a spiritual master. The qualification of spiritual master is two things. One is to expert in Shastra and convince other. And second thing, he is completely surrendered, 100% surrendered to Supreme Lord Krishna. That is the two qualification is there for a. Then if you do that, then there is a chance that we can fulfill our mission of life, that is transferring from material bliss to spiritual bliss, spiritual platform. So that means Prabhupada say written very nicely. Prabhupada, that's why you should follow the Acharya. He told that one should not accept spiritual master, someone who is a full number one, who has no direction according to the scriptural injunction, whose character is doubtful, who does not follow the principle of devotional service, or who has not conquered the influence of six senses gratifying agents. Six agents are tongue, genital, belly, anger, mind, and words. Anyone who has practiced controlling the six is permitted to take disciple all over the world. To accept such a spiritual master is the crucial point of advancement in spiritual life. One who is fortunate enough to come under the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master is sure to traverse on the path of spiritual salvation without any doubt. See how important. Simply if you read this one, okay, Guru Padasra, you have to take shelter of Guru. People will be misdirected. They can take anybody as a Guru. So therefore, we should follow the Acharya's explanation. What Acharya says about this. Then we can do it properly. We can seek a bona fide Guru, just like Srila Prabhupada. So in the second glimpse is saying that Krishna Dikkhadi Sikhanam, accepting the Sikkha by accepting a Dikkha from the Guru. Krishna Dikkhadi Sikkhanam. So here second glimpse is saying that initiation and instruction from Guru. Two things. Initiation and instruction, both Dikkha and Sikkha. So in this context, Rupa Goswami quoted 11.322. These are beautiful verses. It says that you have to accept the Guru to learn. What you have to learn? Bhagavatam Dharma. Not that you have to accepting Guru as a matter of fashion, Prabhupada say, just like we are keeping a dog. No. It's not a fashion. You are accepting a Guru to learn. What is that? Bhagavatam Dharma. That means Bhakti. Bhakti. That is important. And learn by, not by adamant, by sincere service. Sincere service. That is the way of learning. Accepting a initiation from spiritual master and receiving instruction from him. So Prabhupada say that, my dear king, the Prabhudas speak to this Nimi king, my dear king, a disciple has to accept a spiritual master, not only as a spiritual master, but also a representative of Supreme Personality of Godhead and Super Soul. See, it's not like Guru is an ordinary person. Guru is a representative of spiritual master and super soul. Otherwise, this spiritual master, not only is a spiritual master, but also a representative of Supreme Personality of Godhead and super soul. See, it's not like Guru is an ordinary person. Guru is a representative of spiritual master. I have to mute it, sorry. I have to mute. So here I can show you very nice verses. It is spoken by the Rupa Goswami has referred these verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the way of you have to take class or give means always remember to follow the Rupa Goswami. Everything you speak must be backed by, corroborated, confirmed by a Shastra. So here he is saying that accepting a bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul, worshipable deity, the disciple should learn from him the process of pure devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, soul of all soul, is inclined to give himself to his pure devotee. Therefore, disciples should learn from the spiritual master to serve the Lord without duplicity, in such a faithful, favorable way that Supreme Lord, being satisfied, will offer himself to the faithful disciple. So if you follow the process, then Supreme Lord will be pleased with you and he give to himself. So That is what he is saying, that you have to accept a spiritual master and learn from the Bhagavad Dharma. That is most important. So Prabhupada also say the same thing. So, and Prabhupada say that attitudes of disciples should be satisfy the bona fide spiritual master. Then it will be easy for him to understand spiritual knowledge. You cannot learn the spiritual knowledge by dissatisfying the spiritual master. No, that is not the way. See, this knowledge is not through our intellectual gymnasium. No, this knowledge is revelation. And by the mercy of the Guru, only we can understand the spiritual knowledge. Jasya deve parabhakti jatha deve tatha Guru. Unless we have an unflinching faith in Krishna and Guru and we are satisfying Guru, then every purport of the Shastra will be revealed to us. Therefore, it is said that who has an unflinching faith in God and spiritual master, everything becomes revealed very easily. Very easily. And particularly, Prabhupada says that one should learn the Srimad Bhagavatam and seriously with a respect and veneration of spiritual master. Hearing and speaking Srimad Bhagavatam is a religious process that elevate one to platform of serving and loving personality of God. How important is Srimad Bhagavatam? How important? So we should follow this process, accepting and learning from the spiritual master. And the third glimpse is Visvambharena Guru Seva. Serve Guru with faith and confidence. Understand Guru as myself. So he quoted 11, 17, 27. Very, very important verses. In 11, 17, 27, Krishna say that Acharyam Mam Vijaniyan. The Acharya is non-different from me. Is a non-different. We can go to this beautiful verses 11, 17, 27. So Krishna spoke this to Uddhava, that Uddhava, this you do not treat this Acharya as ordinary thing, so they come and they are a little bit of elevated, that's all. No, they are Acharya Mam Bijaniyan Navamanyata Karchit Na Martya Buddha Swate Sarvadeva Maya Guru. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all demigods. So that is the position of Acharya, is as good as God. Sakyadhari tena samasta shastrai. Sakyadhari, the servitor God, as good as Hari. So therefore, one should, Rupa Goswami is saying that one should solve this, one should Visvambhara Guru Seva, one should serve the spiritual master as Krishna, as God, and never disrespect him in any way. Guru is the representative of all demigods. And particularly, Prabhupada say that serving the spiritual master with faith and confidence. Regarding the same thing Prabhupada quoted that 11, 17, 27. That my dear Uddhava, the spiritual master must be accepted not only as my representative but as myself. He must never be considered on the same level with an ordinary human being. One should never be envious of spiritual master as one may be envious of an ordinary man. Spiritual master should be seen as a representative of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by serving spiritual master, one is able to give up, able to serve all the demigods. Because demigods are Sakama Bhakti. Here no need of demigod. If you serve the spiritual master, you automatically serve. Because he is the representative of all demigods. So that is the statement by Srila Prabhupada. So that is the third glimpse. Visvambharamna Guru Seva. You should do the Guru Seva. Then Sadhu Bhartanu Bhartanam. This four is called following the footstep of saintly person. That is very, very important. It is stated from Brahmamala, single pointed devotions with regard to Vedic literature. It is stated very nicely that in Skanda Purana, that a devotee follow the past acharya and saintly person, because by such following one can achieve the desired result with no chance of lamenting or being baffled in its progress. That is sure, guaranteed, 100% guarantee. In Skanda Purana say that. And another Purana it is say that Brahma Yamala, not Purana, there is another scripture called Brahma Yamala, If someone wants to pose himself as a great devotee without following the authority of revealed scripture, then his activity will never help him to make progress in devotional service. Very important. One cannot say that I am advancing without following. Instead, he will simply create disturbances for sincere student of devotional service. Those who do not strictly follow principle of revealed scripture are generally called sahajya. Sahajyas are called taking very cheaply. Oh, Krishna, I know. Krishna is my heart. I'm talking with Krishna. This kind of thing they will say. So they are called sahaja, taking this bhakti very cheap. I don't need to chant. I am always thinking of Krishna. You have heard so many times that many people will say that I don't need to chant. I do not need to follow all the things. Krishna is in my heart. I am always thinking of Krishna. All this is concocted ideas. They are called sahajas, and who do not follow the scriptural injunction. Such person are simply creating disturbance in discharge of devotional service. Example is like Buddhist philosophy. The sahajas are one, those who are thinking, they do not follow, they are thinking I am in gopi level, I am like gopi, Krishna, Krishna, crying like this, artificially. So another kind of thing, Buddhist philosophy. Although Buddha is coming from the Kshatriya family and Buddha is incarnation of the Lord, but why, somebody may ask question, why we are not worshipping Buddha? Because Buddha is the incarnation of the Lord. So the idea is that Rupa Goswami say that followers of Buddha cannot be accepted as devotee. Why? Lord Buddha accepted as an incarnation of Krishna. Follower of such incarnations are not very advanced in their knowledge of Veda. Why? Because Buddha, he did not accept the Veda. He defined the authority of the Veda. Because Buddha is actually, Lord Buddha has particular mission. He appeared to build up the atheistic class. Those days, those classes of people in the pretext of Veda, they are killing animals. And there are many atheistic class also, they do not believe in God. So therefore, Buddha, in order to bewilder them, he has own philosophy. He started. And that philosophy, which is defying the authority of the Veda. And he propagated that atheistic principle that we defy Vedas. We do not accept the Vedas. So somebody may ask us why Krishna is doing this, propagating atheistic. The answer is that it was the desire of the Lord to end the violences which was being committed in the name of Veda. That is whole idea. There's a Dasavatar Srota, you say that Buddha's thing that, what is that? Chalayasi, nindasi, nindasi, ninda means condemn the Veda. Why? Sada huday dasita pasugata. Nindasi vidheya sutigatam. Sada huday dasita pasughatam. Because those days people are in the pretext of Veda. Veda say that you can kill the animals. So they are killing animals and eating very indiscriminately and committing all the violences. To stop that, he started that I do not accept Veda. And he propagated the atheistic principle. Therefore, although he is incarnation of the Lord, we do not accept the devotee of the Buddhas, follower of the Buddhas as devotee. Therefore, they are not the real followers. That is the example. Because anybody who do not follow the Shastric injunction, they are not devotees. Then next limb, Sadharma Pricha. This is limb fifth. Inquiring about bhakti. So that is very important. The Naradiya Purana, it is said that if one is actually very serious about devotional service, then all his purpose will be solved without any delay. Inquiring about eternal religious principle, Sadharma Pricha. Unless one is inquiring about the real principle, then he cannot improve. Therefore, one is actually serious devotion, then all his purpose will be solved without delay. Then Jiva Goswami say that those who seriously trying to learn about bhakti quickly attain the desired goal. Asking question is one symptom of seriousness. Sometimes people sigh. No, they do not ask question. Actually, asking question is a symptom of seriousness. One should not be so shy, fearful to Guru. He does not even approach him. So neither guru should make himself unapproachable, should find time to answer the question of his disciple. Today also I was reading Srila Prabhupada Sikhyamrita. Srila Prabhupada is saying that why we are delaying to answer this letter? One should answer the letter as soon as possible. So why he is telling like this? Because he has read this Rupa Goswami statement and Jiva Goswami commentary. And Prabhupada knows that a guru has to be always ready to be approachable, and at the same time, a disciple should not be shy to answer question. Sadharma preacher means you should inquire about bhakti, not any mundane things. This kind of things is accepted. Therefore, tadvidi paripresena pranipatena paripresena sevaya. Paripresena means inquiring, submissively inquiring. Then limb sixth is Krishna Arte Bhogadi Tyaga. Is very important limb also. Giving up material enjoyment for Krishna's satisfaction. Krishna Arte means Krishna's satisfaction. So Padma Purana, it is stated that one who has given up the material enjoyment for pleasure of Lord Hari, the opulence of Vishnu Loka is awaiting. Devotee's interest is only service. So here Prabhupada say that whosoever given up the material enjoyment, mental sense enjoyment, and accepting the principle of devotional service, he can easily get the opulence of Vishnu. Vishnu Loka is awaiting. But devotees are not interested in these opulences. He want to serve only. They are not doing any accepting any kind of opulences. Then seventh one, Dwaraka the Nibasa, living in a holy place like Dwaraka. So in this place, staying in a place is very, very important because that is influence our consciousness. It is stated here that Skanda Purana, that residing in a sacred place is how it is very important. It is said that any person who has lived in Dwaraka for 6 months, for 1 month, even for one fortnight, there is awaiting elevation to Vaikuntha Loka. All the profit of Saurabhya Mukti. Saurabhya Mukti means privilege of having the same 400 bodily feature as Narayan. So he can get the Sarupa Mukti very easily. And in Brahma Purana, it is said that transcendental significance of Purushottam Khetra, that is Jagannath Puri, which is the 80 square miles field of Lord Jagannath, cannot be properly described. Even the demigod from the higher planetary system see the inhabitant of the Jagannath Puri as having exactly same bodily features possessed by one in Vaikuntha. That is, the demigod see the inhabitant of Jagannath Puri as being 400. See how important those who are staying in this Khetra, they got the inherent privilege of Sarupya Mukti. When there was a meeting of great sages, Naimisara and Sutta Goswami was reciting Bhagavatam, he told that even staying importance of Ganges was also stated. He said that the water of the Ganges are always carrying the flavor of Tulasi offered to lotus feet of Krishna. As so, the water of Ganges are ever flowing, spreading the glories of Lord Krishna. Whenever the water of Ganges are flowing, all will be sanctified, both externally and internally. That's why this Kumbh Mela, why many people are going? Millions of people, half of the population, 40% of the population of India is going and taking bath in Ganges. Ganges, that is a Triveni. Triveni means Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati. Saraswati is now hidden, is a mystical river. Why they are going? Because it is stated that if you are going there, you are staying nearby, they are very, very purifying, sanctifying, externally, internally. Therefore, very important. Staying in Dwaraka, staying in places like this is very, very important. So here it is said that Gange there api sanidhau, residing Dwaraka, etc. etc. means Nivasa Dwaraka Dau Cha. When you say etc. Cha means it is like Bundavan, Jagannath Puri, like Holy Dham, or at the bank of holy rivers, Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati, like this. Holy river, 7 holy rivers is there. So each word you should understand through Sanskrit also. So again he told that 8 to 10 limbs, that Vyavaharesu Sarvesu. What is that called? Vyavaharesu Sarvesu. He told that in daily practice, practical behavior, accepting only what is needed. So wise person accept the material object as such as necessary for maintenance of bhakti. By accepting more or less, the person will fail to attain high score. Very, very important. As much as is required for bhakti is important. If you take less, that is not good. If you take more, that is also entanglement. So you should know that what is the necessity. And Srila Prabhupada say that very nicely. One should the purport is that one should not neglect following the principle of devotional service, nor should one accept the ruling of devotional service that are more than he can easily perform. For example, it may be said that one should chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra at least 100,000 times daily on his beats. This is the injunction, 64 round, 1 lakh. But if this is not possible, then one must minimize his chanting according to his own capacity. Generally, we recommend our disciple to chant at least 16 rounds on the japa daily, and this should be completed. So how Prabhupada is very nicely interpreting this one, not interpreting, presenting very nicely, that one should accept. Supposing if Prabhupada would have said that 64 round chanting, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, Gaudiya Vaishnava also, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says 64 round. If he has given the 64 round, everybody would have failed to complete the rounds. And not only that, 64 round would have taken 8 hours or 10 hours, 8 hours minimum. Then other service could not be done. Therefore, we should accept what are the minimum we can do. Of course, those who are initiated devotee, 16 round is a minimum. If you do not complete the 16 round, then your whereabouts is unknown. Prabhupada said that. 16 round is very, very crucial. That is the most important barometer of our spiritual life. If you do not finish it, you will be like restless. Everything will fall. If japa goes down, everything else goes down. And those who are not initiated, they should try to stick as much as possible they can. That is the highest. They should not artificially do like, oh, sometimes the devotee say, I did 64 round. One day after that, finish. No more. So therefore, one is not even able to chant 16 round. He must take it up to next day. He must be sure to keep his bhav. See, the bhav is given before this spiritual master means in circumstantially, sometimes service is there. Sometimes we are sick. Sometimes so much other things are there. If we cannot finish means next day you must finish it. If he does not strictly follow this out, then he is sure to be able to make progress in devotional service. He is sure to be negligent. That is offensive in the service of the Lord. These are offensive, not following. If we encourage offense, we shall not be able to make progress in devotional service. It is better if one fixes up his regulative principle according to his own ability, then follow that vow without failure. Without fail, this will make him advance in spiritual life. Supposing I know I have a routine life. Supposing you should make a resolution, routine life, like, okay, I have to finish 16 round, I have to give 1 hour for worshipping or half an hour for worshipping the Lord, half an hour for or 1 hour for reading books. We should, out of 24 hours, we should make for spiritual life that this much sadhana I will do every day without fail. Without doing that, I should not even eat. That kind of vow one should do. Then one can progress. Without the routine, there is no progress. Everybody should have some routine, sadhana routine chart. That every day, what is my routine? That thing I should at least stick. So that is the meaning of this eighth limb 8, accepting only what is necessary. That means you should fix up according to your ability to fix up. You supposing you are working for 10 hours, you cannot read for 5 hours. So you should reduce your reading as per the capability, but consistent, maintain the consistency. Consistency should be maintained. Then we can progress. 9th is Hari Vasara Samane, is very important. Hari Vasara means that like Ekadasi and all. It is said that Hari Vasare Samana. Hari Vasare Samana means that respecting the day of Hari. Hari Vasara Samana. Respect like Ekadasi and etc. So here it is said that one's sins are destroyed, one gains abundant abundant pious credit and attain the remembrance of Govinda by fasting on Ekadasi. So Ekadasi is very, very important because it is injunction, one of the most important preliminary important injunction limbs of bhakti to fasting on Ekadasi. Whole idea of fasting, Prabhupada say, minimize the bodily demands, maximize time in Shravana Kirtan of Lord. What is that bodily demands? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Minimize the eating. Therefore, like in Gaudiya Vaishnava, they used to have half-day fasting. Prabhupada say that if one can do full-day fasting, okay. If one cannot do, because he's preaching, he's doing other services, and at least minimize some fruits and milk you take. Anyway, we cannot take all this sumptuous, delicious, exotic food on that day. So many things are restricted. Therefore, minimize that. At least once, 15 days once, Ekadasi comes. So we should minimize the eating process. Then we can maximize Shravanam Kirtan. And Prabhupada told also, success formula. Supposing you want to chant your round, complete it more attentively, hearing properly, pronouncing properly. You should do it before you eat. Or when you are fasting and day and all, our chanting will be very good. So Prabhupada says that observing fasting Ekadasi. In Brahma Vaivata Purana, it is said that one who observes the fasting on Ekadasi is freed from all kind of reaction to sinful activities, advance in pious life. The basic principle is not just to fast, but to increase one's faith and love for Govinda or Krishna. Real reason for observing fasting Ekadasi is to minimize demand of the body and engage our time in service of the Lord by chanting or performing similar service. The best thing is to do on fasting day is to remember the pastime of Govinda, and here is holy name constantly. See, Prabhupada has given all this injunction. If we follow, we can easily advance, undoubtedly advance. Then 10th one called Dhatri, Aswastadi Gauravam. Aswastha tree means, in Skanda Purana, it is said that 6 items mentioned: banyan tree, tulasi tree, amalika tree. Amalika means amla tree, this gooseberry, Indian gooseberry. Cow, Brahmana, and Vaishnava. These 6 items is very important. You should massaging the cows, feed them, circumambulate them. So therefore the cows is very important. And particularly the trees are important. Tulasi tree, Amalika tree, Banyan tree. So how to do that? Whenever you see Banyan tree, you should circumambulate, right hand side, just like you are circumambulating the temple or Tulasi. Like this, you do that. We should respect them, because they are called Vibhuti of the Lord. And Prabhupada say that offering respect to banyan trees. In the Skanda Purana, it is directed that devotee should offer water to Tulasi plant and Amalika trees. He should offer respect to the cows, and Brahmana should serve the Vaishnavas by offering them respectful obeisances, meditating upon them. All of this process will help to devotee to diminish the reaction of his past sinful activity. These are very important things. By doing serving, why we are doing Tulasi Puja, Go Seva, Brahmana Seva, Vaishnava Seva. These are important for us to diminish the reaction of our sinful activity, past activities. They are very beneficial. Very, very beneficial. Dhatri Osustadi Gauravam. Amla, Indian gooseberry, people tree. All these things very important. They are called Tadya. Tadya means that belongs to Lord. Tadya means belongs to Lord. Anything which belongs to Lord, of course, everything belongs to Lord, but the special items are given, they are belongs to Lord. They are called Tadyanam Samarchanam. We should give respect. The next, these 10 limbs are called positive injunction. Like do it. Do it. And again, next 10, today we will finish it also. Next 10, next session we will finish others. This next 10 is negative, means do not do. So we will learn the next 10 one. Before that, we will just have summary. We will do a summary of 10 we have learned now. So first is Guru Padasra, taking shelter of Guru, and receiving initiation, learning from a Guru. In this case, Prabhupada says that bona fide Guru, who is very well versed, who is really surrendering to Lord. And receiving initiation means learning from him. Not that simply for a matter of changing our name. Krishna Das, I'm initiated devotee. No, whole idea is that to learn. Diksha means Divyagana Khipati. Divyagana. The Guru injected the Divyagana. Therefore, initiation is not like that I am become so big Guru. Initiation is beginner. You are admitting into school to learn from the teacher. It's just like a school. You are getting into admission into school. Then serving Guru is respect. You should serve Guru with respect because he is not different from the Krishna. He is the representative of all demigods. Then following the scriptural rules and footstep of Acharya, whatever the instruction they have given, one should follow. Then inquiring from Guru how to advance. We should inquire. You should not become shy from the Guru. We should inquire if you have any doubt. Giving up material enjoyment for Krishna. For Krishna's sake, we can give up the material enjoyment because these are the things impediment to come to Krishna. For Krishna means attaining Krishna. It's not that Krishna wants our Rasgulla. No. To attaining Krishna, these are the things important to give up. Residing in holy place like Dwaraka, Vrindavan, near Ganga, like this. And accepting only what is necessary for the body, dealing with material world only as necessary. So everything you could do, whether you are working also, as much as required you should. You should not over. Atya ahara prayasa is not good. Nectar of instruction. So also your sadhana also, you do whatever you need to do. I mean, whatever it is, whatever you can do it actually. Necessity. You should not do overdoing and again you have a distaste. No, I cannot do like this. No. Fixed up every day, every day. And slowly it will increase. Automatically you will get a taste and increase. Then observing fasting on Ekadasi and other days also like Janmashtami and all. Particularly Ekadasi, Hari Vasara means the day of Hari means it can be Janmashtami, Goro Purnima like this. Worshipping the sacred tree like banyan tree, Amalika, Tulsi tree, etc. These are the 10 do's positive. Preliminary necessity of bhakti. Then we will learn that from the 11th we will learn. In 11th it is stated that do not, what we should not do. Sangatyaga vidurena Bhagavat vimukte janai Sisyadi anubandhitam Maharambadi anudhama. Giving up from a distance the association of those who have turned away from the Lord, means atheist. Sangatyaga. So this is very important verses. Giving up association, those opposed to Krishna are atheist. So Srila Prabhupada say that very nicely. So Lord Chaitanya say that once asked by of his householder devotee, what is the general behavior of a Vaishnava? In this connection, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied that Vaishnava should always give up the company of non-devotee. It is quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Sangatyaga. That Asasanga a Vaishnava Achara. What is the behavior of a devotee? He should first think that he should give up this company of non-devotee. And he explained there are the two kinds of non-devotee. One class is against the supremacy of Krishna. They are atheists. They don't believe in supremacy of the Lord. Another class is materialistic people. There are two kinds of non-devotee. Remember this one. And in other words, who are after material enjoyment, those who are against the supremacy of the Lord are called a Vaishnava. And their company should be strictly avoided. So much so that there is a very beautiful Samhita called Katyayana Samhita. It is stated that, so it is better to, if one is forced to live in a cage of iron or in the midst of blazing fire, better to be burnt rather than you should accept the position, I mean, live with the non-devotee. Better to be in the middle of blazing fire or in the cage of iron rather than associating with non-devotee. Why? Because association of non-devotee is pretty much bring you to hell. Not only that, in another Shastra it is said that it is better to embrace a snake, a tiger, and an alligator rather than associate with a person who are worshipper of various demigods, who are implied by material desire. So all the demigod worshipper are atheists. Try to remember this. This is the Shastric injunction. Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that worshipper of all demigod according to different material desire. But all of these worshippers, although they appear to be very good devotee of demigod, are still considered to be non-devotee because they cannot be accepted as devotee. Those who are not worshipper of Vishnu or Krishna, all of them are called non-devotee. Krishna did not accept it. Shastra did not accept it as a devotee. Therefore, they also should be avoided. Their association should be strictly avoided. So actually, those persons who are worshipper of demigod have been condemned in Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna condemned many places. Chapter 7, chapter 9, so many. And because due to their lusty desire, they have lost their intelligence and have therefore taken to worshipping different demigods. Maya prata jnana. So in the Vishnu Rahasya also, demigod worshippers are forcefully condemned by the statement, it is better to live with most dangerous animal than to associate with this person. So therefore, we should avoid all the atheist class, those who are non-believer and those who are materialistic person, and also the demigod worshipper also. We should not associate with them. And Sishyadi Anubanditam, not being attached to accepting too many or unfit disciples. So now one can say that how Prabhupada has so many disciples. So here you should learn that there are two things you have to learn. First of all, to spread Krishna consciousness, we can accept the disciple required to continue like Sampradaya. And disciples should not be accepted if they are unqualified as a matter of prestige. That is important. So a guru should not accept it as a matter of prestige. Anybody and any nowadays you see everybody getting initiation. What? First of all, the qualification must be there, not for the sake of prestige. If qualification is there, means it is good to accept many disciples because they will propagate. So therefore, Prabhupada has written that not accepting unfit disciple. Another scripture is that a person, another scripture is that a person may have many disciples, but he should not act in a such a way that he will be obliged to any of them for some particular action or some favor. And one should not also be very enthusiastic about constructing new temple, not should one enthusiastic about reading various type of books, except ones that will lead to advancement of devotional service. Practically, if one is very careful to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, teaching of Lord Chaitanya and nectar of devotion, Prabhupada used the nectar of devotion. You see, nectar of devotion. That will give us sufficient knowledge to understand the science of Krishna consciousness. So after the finishing of nectar of devotion, we are starting Bhagavad Gita again, and also we will start teaching of Lord Chaitanya Bhagavatam. So one need not to take trouble reading other books that are important. No need of this Acharya book, that Acharya. You see, the books who has been written by our Acharyas are like 200,000 of books. How it is possible for us to read all the things? And of course, without the proper guidance, we cannot read. Therefore, Prabhupada particularly said these 4 books, Prabhupada has put all the essence of all Acharya books. And that is sufficient for us to go back to Godhead or attain the love of Godhead. So therefore, we should stick these things. The 4 books is very, very important. In the 7th canto, Narada Muni saying that while discussing with Yudhishthira, various functions of different orders in society, especially the sannyasi who have renounced the material world, one who has accepted the sannyasa order of life, forbidden to accept a disciple, anyone who is not fit. So Narada Muni say that a sannyas or a guru, first of all, you should examine the prospective student who is sincerely seeking to Krishna consciousness. If he is not fit, he should not be accepted. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is, he advised all these bona fide spiritual masters to speak about Krishna consciousness everywhere. Jare dekha tare kiya Krishna upadesh. Amara agyane guru tara. Ei desa. Therefore, in the line of Lord Chaitanya, even a sannyasi can speak about Krishna consciousness everywhere. If sannyasi is seriously inclined to become a disciple, the sannyasi always accept him. If someone is seriously inclined, therefore that is the exception. Sometimes they accuse Prabhupada, it is not an injunction to accept disciple from these people like Javanas and all, the American and all, they are not fit. Prabhupada has quoted this one. Prabhupada say that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that, Amara Agyane Guru Tara hai desha. You become Guru on my advice, bona fide Guru. Jare dekha tare kya Krishna Upadesh. You speak about Krishna. Therefore, Prabhupada say that those who are follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sannyas, they are accepting disciple on that purpose of propagating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mission. Our mission is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mission. The one point is that without increasing the number of disciples, there is no propagation of cult of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, sometimes even at a risk, a sannyasi in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may accept even a person who is not thoroughly fit to become disciple. See, this exception is given. Therefore, Prabhupada accepted all these American disciples because without them, how to propagate Krishna consciousness? We need service from disciple. Later on, by the mercy of such a bona fide spiritual master, the disciple is gradually elevated. See, Prabhupada's words are very important because these American, initially they were not fit, but somehow Prabhupada gave them initiation. But later on, because of association with bona fide spiritual master Prabhupada, all of them become elevated and they help the mission tremendously. However, if one increases the number of disciples simply for some prestige or false honor, he will surely fall down in matter of executing the Krishna concept, Krishna consciousness. That means one should not just accept because of prestige, oh, I am a great popular guru. You know how many disciples I have? Thousands of disciples. Quantity, not quality, that then he will fall down. That is very important. Only exception of accepting. First of all, the injunction is that one should not accept many guru, but only exception that one should accept for the propagating Krishna consciousness. Even an unfit disciple, they become elevated gradually. And 13th one is that Maha Arambadi Anudayamam. That means not being eager for huge undertaking or costly temple. That is very, very important. Sometimes devotees are engaged big construction project, big project, eco village, big construction of temple. That is not allowed. I mean, that is not the injunction. He says that one should not engage in big project that distracts one from spiritual goals. Big project means service of the Lord can be undertaken only for the service of the Lord. Rupa Goswami engaged Maharaj Man Singh to construct a Govindji temple. So how Rupa Goswami, if you go to Radha Govind temple, Govindji temple in Vrindavan, so Maharaj Man Singh from Jaipur, he did it because Rupa Goswami asked him to engage him to construct Govindji temple. There's a big project. Govindji temple is a 7th floor. Aurangzeb destroyed the top 3 floor. Now we have 4th floor. Only 4th floor is there. But it was a very huge temple. So here Prabhupada say that similarly a bona fide spiritual master has no business reading many books simply to show his proficiency or to get popularity by lecturing in different places. One should avoid all these things. It is also stated that sannyasis should not be enthusiastic about constructing temples. One can see that in the lives of various acharya in the line of Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, they are not very enthusiastic about constructing temple. However, if somebody comes forward to offer some service, the same reluctant acharya will encourage the building of costly temple by such servitors. For example, Rupa Goswami was offered a favor by Maharaj Man Singh, the commander-in-chief of Emperor of Akbar. Rupa Goswami instructed him to construct a large temple of Govindji, which cost vast amount of money. See here it is Prabhupada saying that one should not be enthusiastic. I mean, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati say that if I have given option, I wanted to sell my temples and get money and distribute the books and preach. All the marble I want to take out and sell. That was the statement of Bhakti Siddhanta. Therefore, one should not be so enthusiastic to big construction of temple. No. Because it takes time, distract from our devotional service. Only thing if somebody is helping, like offering some service, We will not do that. We just give a guide, just like Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami was not standing every day and night with contractor, oh, you do like this, you do. No, he just gave an instruction to construct a large temple of Govindji. And all the financial, all the service is done by Mansingh and all all his people under him. Because Rupa Goswami has his sadhana. How he will give up the sadhana? He go to Govindi temple, he will every day he will check, oh, this much of work is going on. Next day, this much of, and the contractor, he will give money every day at the end of the work. This is ridiculous. Therefore, Shastra say, no, you should not do that. You should not do this kind of unnecessary huge things, and you cannot give time to your reading. Why you are not attending the session? No, we are busy in constructing temple. What is this? In other words, spiritual master need not be very enthusiastic for constructing temple building, simply in the name of so-called spiritual advancement. See how Prabhupada is writing. Rather, his first and foremost activity should be to preach. Preaching is the first and foremost activity. In this connection, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj recommend that spiritual master print books if one has money. Instead of constructing costly temples, one should spend his money for publication of authorized book in different languages for propagating Krishna consciousness movement. Actually, this statement also personally given to Prabhupada when Prabhupada met his Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj at Radhakund, and Prabhupada asked Guru Maharaj that what can I help you? Now, whenever you have got money, you print books. Therefore, Prabhupada actually follow his step. When he went to America, the first thing he was interested in publishing his book. Therefore, he created BBT, Bhakti Vedanta Trust, for publication of the books, to distributing books. His idea is BBT is more important than any construction of the temple. Although he built 108, he told that devotee may fail, temple may fail, but my books will never fail. Because books has got the power, transcendental knowledge, to transform the lives. Nobody can devotee simply by going to temple only. No. One has to become a devotee by reading, by knowledge of this thing. Therefore, preaching is our most important thing. Preaching, distribution of the books. This is the do nots. Then Bahu Grantha Kalvasya. Studying too many non-devotional books, arts, explaining them, arguing around them. No, that is not good. It is said that not reading many books. One should not be eager to read many books that disrespect the Lord or oppose the Bhagavatam. That means all materialistic books. One should study as many devotional books as possible. One should not study books defeat others in argument, show one's proficiency to get popularity. No, your attitude should not be like, I have so many books so that we can defeat in argument. I will say that I am a scholar and get popularity. Oh, you know so many things, so many slokas. No, one should not give discourse as means of livelihood. No, you should not charge actually. Therefore, our courses are free course. You should not, Brahmana should not charge the money, this means of livelihood. No, that is not the way of preaching or way of passing the knowledge, imparting the knowledge. Prabhupada say that a similar bona fide spiritual master has no business reading many books simply to show his proficiency to get popularity. So we have read this one, these two things. And 15th one is not feeling miserable, not performing, disregarding acts in distressing circumstances. That means a devotee should remain undisturbed in material failure or loss. In loss, one should remember the Lord with one's intelligence. A devotee should not perform degraded act like begging, etc. So this is very important thing. So we will learn this one. So Prabhupada say that Padma Purana, it is said that person who engage in Krishna consciousness should never be disturbed by some material gain or loss. Supposing I lost something, material gain something, so one should not be disturbed. Even if there is some material loss, one should not be perturbed. I mean, perturbed means very lamenting. Oh, I lost money, I lost money. But should always think of Krishna within himself. This purport is that every conditioned soul is always absorbed in thinking of materialistic activity. He has to free himself from such thought and transfer himself to completely to Krishna consciousness. As we have already explained, the basic principle of Krishna consciousness to always think of Krishna. Consciousness is about mind. Mind function is to think. So therefore, Krishna consciousness means always think of Krishna. One should not be disturbed by material loss. If we are disturbed by material loss or perfect, then we cannot concentrate on Krishna. We will be always thinking, oh, I lost it, I gain it, oh, this happened, that happened. Therefore, one should concentrate his mind upon the lotus feet of the Lord. A devotee should not subject to lamentation or illusion. The following statement of Padma says that within the heart of a person who is overpowered by lamentation or anger, there is no possibility of Krishna being manifested. Once one getting lamentation, supposing if I am not getting something, I am lamentation. I am lamenting, oh, I did not achieve that. I did not get that. Then this is not good. Krishna will not manifest. If one is anger, oh, I did not get that, I am angry. Some reason and other. That is also Krishna is not being manifested. So devotees should avoid all kind of things. Then next one is 17. 17 is says that one should not disrespect the devata or demigods. That is very, very important. Sometimes devotee will say, oh, he is Indra. What is this? Indra is very lusty. It's disrespect. No, you should not disrespect. One should always worship Hari, Lord of the Master, Lord and Master of all the devata demigod. On the other hand, one should never disrespect the Brahma, Shiva, and others. A Vaishnava is duty bound to offer all respect to such a highly positioned devata. A Vaishnava offer respect even to ant, what to speak of exalted personality like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Oh, Lord Shiva is like Tamaguna. Brahma is Rajaguna. Oh, we do not want, we want only Krishna or Vishnu or Ram like this. No, you will worship only Hari. One should not worship any demigods, according to Shastric injunction. Krishna says, Aham is sarvajagyanam bhakta cha, 1923-24. That I am this beneficiary of all things. Therefore, only Krishna should worship. Bhaj dhatu. Bhajati means only for Krishna, not for demigods. But that does not mean that one should disrespect them. No. Because they are exalted, they are highly positioned devatas are there. So therefore, one should not disrespect. Prabhupada says that one should not neglect to offer due respect to demigods. One may not be a devotee of demigods, but that does not mean he should be disrespectful to them. For example, Vaishnava is not a devotee of Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma, but he is duty bound to offer all respect to such a highly positioned demigod. According to Vaishnava philosophy, one should offer respect to even to the ant. Offer respect even to the ant. So what is there to speak of such exalted position of the Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma? In Padma Purana, it is said that Krishna and Hari, the master of all demigods, therefore he is always worshipable. But this does not mean that one should not offer respect to demigods. We have to be very careful not to disrespect the demigods. Because Vaishnava means even ants, because he knows that in every living entity is the part and parcel of the Lord. And Lord is situated in everybody's heart. Sarvabhutanam udyasya tishtati. So therefore, one should respect even an ant. Therefore, we do not, kill any living entity. We do not eat any non-vegetarian things. Even vegetarian also, we are offering and taking. So that is the difference. So what to speak about exalted, towering personality like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma? We will go through 20, 10, 10, then we will stop. So 18th one is not inflicting pain on other living entity. The pure-hearted person who does not inflict pain on others, being merciful like a father to his son, quickly please Lord Rishikesh. It is stated in Mahabharata. A Vaishnava can never support animal slaughter or even give pain to any living entity. See, that is a very important point. So not giving pain to any living entity means that one who does not disturb or cause painful action in the mind of any living entity, who treats everyone just like a loving father does his children, whose heart is so pure, certainly very soon become favored by Supreme Personality of God. One has to be One has to be this kind of mentality, this kind of attitudes, and this kind of mind. In so-called civilized society, there is sometimes agitation against cruelty to animals, but at the same time, regular slaughterhouse are always maintained. A Vaishnava is not like that. Vaishnava can never support animal slaughter or even given pain to any other living entity. So one should be very careful not to give any pain to other living entity, because Lord is not pleased by that. These are the 18th one. Then 19th one is Seva Aparad. There are so many Seva Aparad is there. When we are doing Seva Aparad, Nama Aparad, while chanting the name also Aparad is there. So these are the things listed, so many things listed. We will go through all the things. What are the Seva Aparad is there? 32 offenses matter of serving the Lord. Not only one, 32 Aparad. One should not enter in the temple of the deity in a car or palanquin with shoes on the feet. One should not fail to observe the various festivals for the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead, such as Janmashtami, Ratha Yatra. One should not avoid bowing down before the deity. One should not enter the temple to worship the Lord without having washed one's hands and feet after eating. One should not enter into the temple in a contaminated state. According to Vedic scripture, if someone dies in the family, the whole family becomes contaminated for some time. According to its status, for example, if the family of Brahmana, their contaminated period is 12 days. Kshatriya or Vaishyas is 15 days. Shudra is 30 days. One should not bow down on one hand. That is Seva Aparad. One should not circumambulate in front of Krishna. The process of circumambulating the temple is that one should begin circumambulating from deity right hand side of the temple and come down. Such circumambulation should be performed outside the temple structure at least 3 times a daily. So when you are parikrama doing, you should do the outside of the temple. And Tulsi Maharani also, we do circumambulation. It is actually when the curtain is closed. One should not spread his leg before the deity. One should not sit before the deity holding the ankles, elbows, knees with one's hand. One should not lie down before the deity Krishna. One should not accept prasada before the deity. No, one should not take prasad before deity. One should not, one should never speak. One should not lie down. One should not accept prasad. One should never speak lie before the deity. And one should not talk very loudly before the deity. One should not talk with others before the deity. One should not cry or howl before the deity. One should not quarrel and fight before the deity. One should not chastise anyone before the deity. One should not be charitable or beggar or charitable to beggars before the deity. One should not speak very harshly to others before the deity. One should not wear a full blanket before the deity. One should not eulogize, praise anyone else before the deity. One should not speak any illness before the deity. One should not pass air before the deity. One should not one should not fail to worship the deity according to one's means. Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Lord is satisfied by patram pushpam phalam toyam. So one should not eat anything that is not offered fast to Krishna. One should not fail to offer fresh fruit and grains to Krishna according to the season. When seasonal fruit we should offer. After food has been cooked, no one should offer any foodstuff unless it is first offered to the deity. One should not sit with back towards the deity. One should not offer obeisances silently to spiritual master. Or in other words, one should recite aloud a prayer to spiritual master with while offering obeisance. That is very important. You should not immediately no Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presta. You should chant the mantra, then you should. One should not fail to offer some praises in presence of spiritual master. One should not fail to offer some praises in presence of spiritual master. One should not praise himself before the spiritual master. One should not deride the demigods before the deity. These are the 32 Seva Aparad is there. 32 Seva Aparad. The position is there squat. The 32 Seva Aparad is very important because we are doing Seva Aparad, we are doing Seva and we do not know all the Seva Aparad. That is not good. So this 32 Seva Aparad is very, very important part of the things. So last one is then there are Nam Aparad is there. Nam Aparad, you know that Bara Purana is there are other offenses to be avoided also. That is there in Bara Purana. So many, we will go through that another time. So last 21 list of Seva Aparad, when final is that blasphemy. What is the 20? Son, yes. Last one is not tolerating the criticism of the Lord or his devotee. That is very, very important. If one does not leave the place after hearing the blaspheming of the Lord or his devotee, one becomes bereft of all pious credit. Vaishnava forego their own personal honor, but they will not tolerate insult when it comes to the Lord and his devotee. Lord Chaitanya wanted to even kill Jagai Madai for their offense. So it is stated that when somebody is blaspheming the Lord, either you leave the place or you argue and defeat him. We cannot kill him because the law wise, but one should either defeat by argument or one should leave that place. In this connection, there is a beautiful verses is there. There is a beautiful verses in this connection that in this very nice verses I'll show you. Uh, 10, 1074:40. This is a very nice verse. It is stated here that in this verse that anyone who fails to immediately leave the place where he hears the criticism of the Supreme Lord or his faithful devotee will certainly fall down, bereft of his pious credit. So, therefore, one should be immediately either leave or counteract. That is the whole idea. So, one should not be like silent, okay, it's okay, never mind, he's blaspheming, he don't know. No, one should either leave or defeat. It is happened many times during this Deepavali fair. I had a big fight with somebody. He was telling all this Fastra, nothing useless and all the things. So, so I was big fighting. Then I fight and he left the place. So I was bit of thing of fighting, but after reading all these things, I understood that as a good actually. Either you fight or leave the place. I fought it and let him go out. So that is whole idea that one should not be keep silence. Either you defeat him, if don't defeat it, leave that place. So this is the 20 limbs, total 20 limbs. We have another 64 limbs are there. These 20 limbs are 10 limbs are positive injunction you have to do and 10 is not to do. So particularly the Seva Aparad has so many things are there in Seva Aparad, Nam Aparad, 10 Nam Aparad. So that we have to be very carefully also know that. So this 10 is, there's a 20 is very, very important, first 20. So this first 20 will go through that once again, 11. So first is not associating with the people who are atheist or materialistic person, also the devotee of the demigods. Second one is not being attached to making too many disciples. Only exception is that you can make a disciple not for your prestige or popularity, but to propagate Krishna consciousness. On this note, Prabhupada went to America, he accepted disciple. Not being enthusiastic for huge undertaking. One should not big temples. No. If somebody offering his service and money, then okay. Just like Rupa Goswami. Otherwise, it will distract our seva, sadhana. Not studying many useless book to earn livelihood or to defeat others useless. So we should not read all kind of non-devotional books. One should read only these books, which is actually Prabhupada has given the 4 books is important. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, teaching of Lord Chaitanya, nectar of devotion. Not feel miserable in any material circumstances. No, you should not be you should be anxiety or something, lamenting or angry. Not disrespecting devata. You should not disrespect the non-devotees. Sorry, demigods. Because they are part and parcel of the Lord. They are highest position. No. Not troubling other living entity. We should not trouble other living beings. Avoiding offenses in deity worship and chanting. This is very important. We have completed deity worship. We'll go through again this thing in the next session. 32 offenses are there, deity worship. Also, there are so many 30 or more 30 offenses in Varaha Purana, and chanting also 10 offenses. We will go through next session, this one. Very important to know this, because as long as we have offenses in our bhakti, we cannot progress. Therefore, we have to clear these offenses. It is stated that chanting also, बहु जन्म करी यदि श्रवण कीर्तन तबु ते ना पाए कृष्ण पादे प्रेमधन. If somebody is infested with all offenses, one may try to engage in devotional service for millions of years. One cannot get Krishna Prem. He may get some material opulences, some other benefit, but Krishna Prem he will not get. And not tolerating the blasphemy of Krishna and his devotee by those who hate them. So we should not tolerate if somebody is criticizing the Lord or criticizing his devotee. So therefore, this is very important. And this um, 20s, all these things are very, very important. These 20s, first 20s is very, very important, important limbs of bhakti. So Rupa Goswami say that this 20 is very, very important, because first 10 and first preliminary first 10 is positive and second one negative. If we follow all these things 20 injunction properly, then we can advance in Krishna consciousness. So we will, if any question, any doubt, we can stop here, because in next classes we will go through rest of the things, because rest of the thing very easy. First 20 is very important. First 20 is very important things. Even Rupa Goswami say that first 20 is very important limbs of bhakti. So any question, anything, any doubt?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat
Yes,
pranam.
yes, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for a nice class, Prabhu. We are so fortunate to have your classes. Oh, this Amalaki tree, or this people tree and fig tree, also they mention Aswatha tree, banyan
Banyan,
tree. So
banyan.
people and fig
People,
tree also.
yes. People tree also it include. People tree also, because particularly that verse it is say that you should people trees is given in that verses particularly. So therefore we should Dhatri Asustadi Gauravam. Dhatri means Amla Indian gooseberry. Dhatri. And Asusta means people tree. So the
Right.
people tree particularly it is given. And because Acharyas are very good in explaining things more good, therefore they have given this beautiful things Praman, and where he is explaining that not only that, 6 item also it is mentioned. Eh? So he's therefore to respecting Ashwastha trees, there's a Skandapurana reference is there. Banyan tree, Tulasi tree, Amalika tree, cow, Brahman, and Vaishnava. All 6 also include. All 6 things are also included.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my
Yes.
Prabhu. Prabhu, like if we like in India, we will see the demigods temples, so
Yes.
many. Like we have to go and obey. We can do obeisances for demigods.
Yes.
Like okay,
Obeisance is then respecting. It is saying that you should respect it, but
yes,
one should
Prabhu.
not.
Uh,
One should
yes,
not
Prabhu.
worship him.
Hmm. I thought that like going to demigod temples is not good like that. Now I cleared that.
There is no question of this disrespecting this thing. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself went to the Lord Shiva temple, Brahma temple, particularly Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, because India is full of Lord Shiva temple. So one should not like, oh, well, Lord Shiva will go. No, you when you're passing, you pay obeisances, go. We are not worshipping, but respect is very important.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This ISKCON Bhubaneswar, it's inside temple only, not outside temple. The Lord deities. So uh, that is okay. Just now you said that.
Nay, it is saying that when it is how they are telling, I also asked them. They told that it is only Garbhagraha, but it is considered to be outside, they're telling. Usually mean that parikrama of the deities in the outside there. So this is fine, that is accepted. But Garbhagraha you cannot do. Like, more inside, internal. So that is not good. Because it injunction that you should not circumambulate before in front of the deities. Like even Tulsi Puja also we close it. But in India, not only there, everywhere actually. Everywhere. Even Bombay, I went to Juhu temple, ISKCON Juhu. They also parikrama mark is there. This parikrama is there. So nowadays, because temple they do not have outside parikrama, they have when they consider it as a temple, deity, altar, everything in that platform is called temple area. Outside this one, they have a circumambulate path. You can circumambulate. But those days, old days, if you see the Radha Govind temple and all, they do not have this facility. We have to circumambulate outside of the temple. Even I went to Radha Gopinath temple just now, and we circumambulate Vrindavan. Outside the temple circumambulate. They do not have the pathway, but now all the ISKCON temple has this pathway. So we do that.
Right, Prabhu. Thank you
And it
so
is all
much.
right. It is all right because it's not like we are doing anything here.
Yes, Prabhu. And this one sloka like Narayan Kavacha, one part is there, 6, 8, 19. That Buddha is also, Lord Buddha is also prayed that to protect from activities opposed to Vedic principles.
Yes, yes. In Narayan Kavacha, yeah, it is there. But as Prabhupada said that although Buddha is the incarnation, we accept it. But Rupa Goswami say that because Buddha has appeared uh, for circumstantial, for a particular mission, circumstantially, not actually appeared for the propagating of bhakti, but he stopped them for killing of violences against the animals. So therefore, we should not accept this Buddhist philosophy because it defying the authority of the Vedas. Secondly, we should not accept their devotees, their follower as the devotee of the Lord. Although Buddha is the incarnate, Buddha we never deny. Buddha is incarnation, and we know also what purpose. Nindasi jagya videra ahasruti jatam saday huday darshita pasughatam. So he came for a particular purpose, therefore he defying authority. But still he is merciful. He somehow defying the authority, but he told you surrender unto me. In a bewildering way, he is helping them. Not only stop this non-violence, sorry, stop all the violence against animal. Also, they are taking shelter of Buddha. Buddham saranam gacchami, dharmam saranam. So Buddha has somehow taking shelter. Here they are taking shelter. In this way, trick it. Nindasi jagya videra shruti jatam. Sadaya hude darsita pasudhatam. So Prabhupada said Buddha trick it. We do not defy Buddha that oh he is the incarnation, he is not Krishna. No, he come, but his philosophy is not accepted Rupa Goswami because it is circumstantially. Under the particular mission, he came in propagated this thing. After that, Shankaracharya was sent. Shankaracharya was sent to drive away the Buddhism. Same Supreme Lord sent to Shankaracharya. You go, Lord Shiva, Shankaracharya, you propagate Mayavadi philosophy and drive away all this Buddhist philosophy. So that is the plan of transcendental trick of Lord, and he came as incarnation. But Rupa Goswami say that because it's circumstantial, we cannot accept their philosophy.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So yeah, may the personality of God and in incarnation, Vasudev
No,
protect.
same thing I just
Yeah,
said.
6, 8, 19, yes. He came. This is a so many, even Garud also has been prayed in Narayan Kavach and all. So many personality, there are so many incarnation also. So, okay. So thank you very much for attending. If anybody, and if nobody has question, so we can stop here. We can continue. I will give you the, these notes are very, very important because it has got Jiva Goswami's, it has got Jiva Goswami's commentary, Rupa Goswami verses. Also, it has got Srila Prabhupada. Very important thing, Prabhupada things. So next week we will continue from the 20th. to all the way to 64. And also we'll go through again the Seva Aparad and chanting Hare Krishna. But Seva Aparad will appear even after you don't do, sometimes Seva Aparad appear. And Jiva Goswami say that to counteract the Seva Aparad, we have to do more Seva. Just like counteracting chanting, you have to chant more and more so that you can automatically counteract. So therefore, Seva Aparad also will be counteracted by doing more Seva to the Lord. So we will talk about the next session like this. Thank you very much. Jai Ganthras, Nectar of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada
Jai.
Goswami ki
Yeah.
Jai, Gaur Premanande. Hari
Hare Hare Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Narottam.
Vanatma.